Okay, we are ready to roll. Okay, lit. So, a big thing I think with this, um, with scheduling, with, you know, creating a good system for yourself, one of the most important things I think is to start off by just knowing your color personality because I am a natural green. I love lists. I love planning things and I know what works for me. That's just the way I am. If I cross something off a list, I get so excited. Today, and I have my planner next to me. I feel like very empty right now. Today I canceled like my Bank of America bank account, and it's something I've been wanting to do for a very long time because there's like nothing in it. I haven't used that account in a very long time, and I've just been wanting to cancel it. And every time I go to cancel it, something happens. The account was frozen. They had to reopen it. I had to wait a week. It was like awful. Pandemic hit. I couldn't go in to close it. I called them today. I was like, listen, please just close the account. I'm not going to the branch. Like, there's pandemic. I don't want to do it. Um, and the man was very nice and he closed the bank account and I was like, finally, like it's free. And I checked it off the list and the amount of like happiness that just like came over my life was like insane. Well, anyway, so I love lists. I'm a green. I'm a green through and through. Every time I take the color personality test, it seems like I'm getting more green. If you guys know your colors, drop them in the chat. If you don't, I'm going to put the test that I use in the chat. Do it at your own time. Um, Cass is red. I know. Lynn's is blue. Blue is my secondary, but it's very small. Like I'm green, like 60% green. It's crazy. Um, and you know, I love systems, love organization. I love all of that. Kate's blue. Jen's yellow, then blue. Jen's yellow slash blue.
Yeah, I'm like 49% one and like 51 the other.
Yeah, literally. And like, you know, like it just plays a lot into like how you react to things and how like, you know, like the other day when I created pie charts, I was so excited for my pie charts. And it's not that I love math, it's that I just love the organization of it. And the pie charts like made me so excited, but like Alexa like was like, "Oh, cool." And I was like, "Doesn't this like make you happy for the rest of the day? Because it makes me happy for the rest of the day." Um, and you know, so even with me being green, I find it very hard for me at times to create good habits for myself. And that just comes down to straight discipline. Me as blue, awesome. I love to like know your guys' colors too, because it helps us to like know how to lead you, which is awesome. And like we'll like you know like if I know like what you react to better, like I know like if I'm hard on Cass because she's red, like that's what she needs to hear. But like sometimes like you know I don't want to be too hard on Jen because Jen doesn't react to that well. If I yelled at Jen kind of like gets upset if I yell at her, which is fine. I get upset when people yell at me too, Jen. Yeah, understandable. But like I'm the same way though. Like with Alexa, like sometimes she said, I don't even know if you guys like catch on to this, but she said she types in caps and puts it in the chat. I'm always like, stop yelling at me. Like I don't respond well to it. I don't know. It's just not how I am. Um, so yeah, so I love charts. I love systems. Um, And if you have any questions throughout this, I'm going to get kind of, I'm not a scientist or anything, but I did do a lot of research on this throughout today because I was kind of interested. Because we're always telling you guys, like, create good habits for yourself, create good systems, get a planner, write everything down, schedule things in. But it's like a lot easier said than done. And I understand that. And I was like, well, how do you create like good habits? Like, I know it's repetition, but like that's hard. So it's like scientifically, how does it work? So I did a lot of research today. I'm going to go through that research with you guys. So buckle up for like Science with Tori Monday, and let's get going. So if you guys have any questions throughout, drop it in the group chat, and I will answer it when the time comes. But in order to create a good system that's going to work for you, what I have found, this is not like scientific, but I'm pretty sure it could be, I don't know. But for me, what I have found is that it comes down to like trial and error, like what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And for me, that came down to figuring out, like writing out my day the way I want to do it, and then trying to execute that, and then seeing what worked, what didn't work. You know, like, did I like writing my novel at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? And if I didn't, I was like, no, I liked writing it at night. Like, no, then I'm not going to schedule writing for middle of the day. I'm going to schedule for at night. So just things like that. Um, and sometimes you guys like text me and you're like, hey, can we hop on a call? And I'm like, oh, like this is like my writing time. You know what I mean? And like that's like my non-negotiable time to get that stuff done. And if it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. But I don't back up my day because of it. I just move on to the next thing. And then I figure out where can I improve. And that's a period that you just have to take with grace as you go. You have to be okay with, not completing your tasks for the day, or well, you have to be okay with actually staying up late and finishing your tasks. You have to be okay with, you know, not being in a routine and having to have that discipline to create that routine. So, you know, and creating that schedule that's going to lead you to success, it's all about creating those good habits. So, as I said before, what is a good habit? So, 45% of your daily behaviors are habits, which I found fascinating. And I see Cass laughing, and I can't tell if she's laughing at me, but 45% of your daily behaviors are habits. Like, isn't that crazy? So, like, that's stuff that you're doing subconsciously throughout the day. So, it's like the time you wake up. If like you're eating at night, like if like you go like and you're like, oh, like, I eat at night, like I binge eat at night. Like that's something I used to do. Like if I was in bed, I was like, oh, I want a snack. Or like if I was watching TV, I'd be like, oh, I want a snack. Checking your cell phone, that's a habit. Driving a car, you ever get in a car and then you drive somewhere and, you don't really remember how you got there? That's a habit. And the definition of a habit, guys, I feel like I'm a teacher. Definition of a habit is an automated behavior that we repeat over and over and over again in the same context or environment that run in our subconscious mind. So like literally, like your alarm goes off. If your alarm goes off and you hit snooze, you're creating a habit to hit snooze. And you're rewarding that habit by going back to bed. And that's a bad habit. Hold on, Emma's hopping on. And okay. So when you're creating these habits, like you're creating them subconsciously. So you're not always knowing that you're creating them. But like how are habits created? So like that's what I started to like go into. So I was like, we create like good habits, we create bad habits, but like it's a lot easier to create a bad habit than it is to create a good habit. You know why? Because creating a bad habit is normally something that's like you don't do anything. Like it's a lot easier to stay in bed than it is to get up. It takes a lot less effort to stay in bed than it is to get up, It takes a lot less effort to hit that snooze button and go back to sleep than it does to get your butt up. So, and that's where creating the bad habit is. You're rewarding that bad behavior. So habits are triggered by a cue, and that cue can be anything as long as dopamine is released into the brain that acts as like a reward or a pleasure. Does that make sense? Science class. Cool. Okay. So, for example, this is the example that I saw online, and I kind of liked it because it kind of pertained to the business. But I kind of like the alarm one I just used. So we're going to use both. So when your cell phone rings, ever hear your cell phone buzz and like you don't get anything? That has something to do with anything. But like, like we're like when your cell phone buzzes, you get like a little release of dopamine and you check your phone. And it's like a reward because like people need you. You're staying connected, you're talking to people, you're socializing, and like that's a good feeling. So like when you're look at your phone, like your brain's like, this is good. And that's why we're always checking our phone subconsciously. You might just be sitting there, check your phone, even if nothing happens. You ever check your phone to look at the time and you don't even like notice the time, you kind of just check it habitually. It's a habit. So creating you have to create good triggers. So that's basically what it comes down to. So for example, we used to do the 7 a.m. power hours. Cass remembers them. She used to get on them. It was 6 a.m. her time. I don't know how she did it, but I would wake up at 6:30 in the morning to get up, get my butt up, get my butt ready, and get into my office to start these power hours. And I knew if I did not get up, the team was not getting up. So I was like, I have to get up. But some days, I'm not going to lie to you, I would start the Zoom on my phone and I would just fall asleep. And you guys knew. I mean, Alexa knew. Alexa did it too. She used to fall asleep on Zooms all the time. Like, we've all done it. And so 6:30 a.m. my alarm would go off, and I'd roll over, and instead of hitting snooze, I was like, you need to wake your brain up. Like, you just need to wake your brain up. And how do you wake your brain up in the morning? You look at your phone and you scroll on social media. So that's what I started doing. So I look at my phone and I scroll on social media, but then I was like, okay, well, now it's 6:45 and I still haven't gotten out of bed or showered, and I have to get on Zoom at 7 o'clock. So then I'd get up and I'd run around and I'd have to get, rushed to get ready. And then I was in like a bad state for the rest of the day because I didn't have a morning. So basically what I started doing was, as soon as my alarm went off at 6:30, I would start playing music, and I would get up because I love music. I love getting ready to music. So when I play music, that's like, Tori, get ready. Like, that's what it is. Whenever I get out of bed, I think this started when I lived in Connecticut with Alexa. But if I had to get out of bed for something, if I was napping, or I don't know, like if I had class or something and I had to get up and just like get my stuff together or get ready, I'd always play music. So I knew when I'm in bed and I start playing music, that means get up and get going. So that's what I started doing. So 6:30 in the morning, I wake up, start playing music. And I have that playlist that we were just playing, that promotions playlist on Spotify, that just a bunch of songs that just pump me up. So that's what I would play. And I know those songs get me up, they get me moving, they get me dancing. You guys see me when I put that music on. Like, I know every word, and I'm like putting on a show, and like for myself, and it's great, and that's what I love to do, and it just puts me in a good mood. So same thing now, still today, every morning, wake up, throw music on, get ready for the day. That's like my reward for my good behavior. You got up, you put on music, that dopamine's released, like, that's okay. So scientifically, the more you do good behavior, the neurons in your brain form connections, and the more you do it, the thicker those connections get. And the thicker those connections get with the neurons, majored in film, the thicker those neuron connections get, makes it less effort to do those habits, to perform those habits. So the more you do it, the less work it becomes. So the brain likes repetition. Yes, Kate. Yes, Kate, thank you. I knew I said that to Cass before we got on the Zoom. I was like, there are people on this Zoom that have majored in psychology and have taken psychology courses. I was like, and I'm so excited to see what they have to say about my psychology skills. I took one psych class and that was my charting class. Like, I would literally sit in the back corner and do my charts. Anyway, so yeah, so your brain likes repetition. So that's why and we know this, because that's why we're always like, say your affirmations, like say your goals out loud, like repeat them, write them down. Like, I'm constantly telling you to repeat your goals throughout the day. Why do you think I'm doing that? Because your brain likes repetition, and it recognizes it, and it encourages it. So the more you do it, the less work it is. So the important thing to do right now is just to develop good habits throughout the day and every day. Observe what you're doing and see where it's working, where it's not. And that's what I said earlier in the Zoom. You should handle this period with grace, because it's not going to be easy. It's going to come it's going to be a little hard, but after 2 weeks, like if you start today, the beginning of next month is going to be a breeze with your schedule. So that's where setting alarms and make it non-negotiable. Maybe set an alarm, and that's your following time. And like, what is it? Like the iPhone alarms, they're like, what is it? I think it's like 9 minutes, something weird like that, like 8 or 9 minutes of snoozes. Set your alarm, put it on snooze, and follow as many people as you can. Don't get blocked. Follow as many people as you can in that amount of time. And when your alarm or message that message in that amount of time, and See how many messages you can get out. Make it a game. And then when the snooze goes off, turn it off. Turn the alarm off. And that's it. You got your messages out. And set those for times during the day where like it's going to work. So this is all where scheduling comes into play, and that's what we really want to talk about tonight, because it's something that's come up a lot this week with many of you guys. We've been talking about it. I've been doing it. I've got a new planner. I'm very excited for it. I keep talking about it. Anyway, if you don't have a planner, get one. If you are in college and you use your laptop, I never used to have a planner because I hated carrying around books. I only wanted to carry around my laptop. If you are in college, you hate books, and you always have your laptop on you, if you have a Mac, use the Stickies application. Put sticky notes all over your computer and just remind yourself to do things. Write down lists. I would used to write down the date. Like I would just write down like in bold, like Saturday, January 1st, 2019, and then the things I had to do for that day. And then January 2nd, and I would do it till the end of the semester, like literally till May. I'd have all these like lists and then every day I'd delete them. And it would get shorter and shorter and shorter. And that was like my visual representation of me getting things done. And it was so satisfying. Anyway, that's what I did. So again, use your stickies. Write down your list of things that you need to get done today and get it done. Set alarms. Like everybody's day is different. So if I told you my day, and I will tell you my day, but if I told you my day, like it's not gonna mean anything to you guys, because I mean, like my day is not your day. Like you guys have different responsibilities, different lives. But just know like that me having a good schedule now does not mean I had a good schedule the last 4 years. And me having a good schedule now does not mean it's not going to change in 2 weeks when I move. But me having a good schedule now, like me waking up in Florida when I lived in Florida, has now transitioned into me waking up early now. So us leaders have literally designed a schedule for you guys if you don't have one already. Use the Zooms as a bracket of when you should be working your business. So we have early morning Zooms. We do 9 a.m. We do journaling and meditation. Okay? And then after that, we jump right into our power hour. That's a perfect way to start off your day. And then after the power hour, me personally, I get up and I do my thing. I make breakfast, I make coffee. I get ready for the day. And that's like, I have an hour of like me time to like get myself together. I clean my room because it's normally a mess from the night before. And then maybe I'll get some more work done, get some messages out, and then I take a ride to the beach. Because that's like, yes, Tori, you had a good morning. Go reward yourself. And I take a nice like 35-minute drive down by the beach, and I like that route. It makes me happy. I blast my music, I sing, put on a concert for myself, and it's great. I love it. And that's like my reward. And if I have to do any errands, I'll do them at that time. Maybe I'll get a little Dunkin' coffee. I don't know. Might get a little crazy. And then I'll get some food. I'll go run some errands. When there's not a pandemic, I go into Target and I feel all the fuzzy pillows and blankets. And then I come home, I sit back down, and I get some more work done around 3 o'clock. Back to work. Then dinner time, 6 o'clock. Take some time for myself. Polish my nails, do something good, watch some Riverdale, whatever. And then we have night Zooms. So around 7 o'clock, I start buckling down Winsaki, and Jen, I knew, Jen, that was just for you.
You line that one right up.
I know. It's something our assistant principal used to always say. During finals week, she used to be like, buckle down, Winsaki, buckle down. It's from a show, right?
And remember sorry, this is a little off topic. Remember when we got back from breaks and she used to sing Back in the Saddle?
But like literally, like it's true though. Like at 6 o'clock, that's like what I sing in my head. I'm like, okay, buckle down, like time to get work done. And we have our night Zooms. So, and I know Cass does her self-dev Zoom sometimes in the middle of the day. So you hop on those whenever those are. Sometimes we have Diamond and Above Zooms. You guys want to get on, let me know. We have Diamond and Above Zooms on Wednesdays at like 4 o'clock. So like, literally you know, we have such a good schedule laid out for you guys already. So like if you don't know where to start with that. And if you can't get on something, it's okay. But like know that the more stuff you get on, the better you're gonna do. Anyway, especially since a lot of you guys are blue. You like to work with people. So yeah, and on the weekends, like I make sure I have my non-negotiable list of things I need to get done. Get up your 10 hosted posts. I started messaging 400 people a day. That's a goal I've been sticking to. I get out those 400 messages. And yeah, it might sound like a lot, but like it takes 10 minutes to message 50 people. 10 minutes. So if you're doing that, that's only an hour and 20 minutes a day of messaging to get out 400 messages. And yeah, that might sound like a lot, but if you're doing it while like you put on a movie, put on TV, put on a show or something, and just get out your messages and see how fast you can do it. Make it a game. Like see how like just time yourself. You know, it's really like this business is easy. Stop overcomplicating it. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit more organization things just to make your head explode just a little bit more. All right, we're almost done, guys, so bear with me. Yeah, Lynn's was messaging in the hospital today. She did 100 messages. Well, you did more than 100 because you were texting me. She did like 120 pre-op, which was like, guys, she probably had bad Wi-Fi too. Like, yeah, she's nodding her head. Yes. See, so you guys can get it done. You gotta just again buckle down, Winsaki, get it done. And okay, so let's break it down. Post, following, messaging, what I do, what I've learned to do, whatever. Okay, so start posting. We all have the It Works posts, slides, shared album thing that's made. If you have an iPhone, you're in it. And if you're not in it, let me know. I'll add you. But I'm pretty sure all of you guys were in it or you were invited to be in it. And you either accepted that invite or haven't accepted it yet. So go accept it. And we have that album. It's literally all slides. Use them. There's about 60 different slides in there. Use them. Throw them up. Usually on weekends, like for a little bit of time on Sundays, I'll spend time looking for new slides, and I'll spend about 30 minutes to an hour doing that. Set time aside during the week for that, even if it's before bed. I know Kate can literally stay up all night making slides. I don't know how she does it. I don't have the attention span for that. She's gifted. But anyway, I cannot do that. So Kate, kudos to you. But I set aside an hour. I steal stuff from other leaders, and I'm going to copy exactly what they did. Yeah, I'm going to copy exactly what they did and make my own. And that's what I do. And I literally steal their words and I steal their verbiage, and I just try to make it something that's mine. So that's what I do about an hour a week. And you have the slides that are in the shared album. And then from there, post when you wake up and post at night before you go to bed on your story. Simple as that. It should take, if you're doing the prep work and you're in the shared album, which takes not even any 2 minutes to get in the shared album. If you're in the shared album, you're spending that hour making slides and just stealing stuff from Pinterest. You should be able to just wake up, go to your albums, and just post on your story. Plain and simple. And also, guys, if you're getting hosts to post up, work smarter, not harder. Have other people post for you. Why wouldn't you want that? So in the morning, I'm posting on my story and I'm getting hosts to post up. I'm posting about it on my Facebook, and I'm saying, okay, who's Vicky? Again, comment your favorite ice cream flavor for an entry to win $570 or a Louis Vuitton wallet. And I got, what was it, 320 comments on it. You know how many host posts I got from that? I can't even count how many. Yeah, I have, for this whole month, I've gotten about 70 up, which is not less than I wanted, but I'm aiming for 10 a day. And, when and people are posting for you, if one person gets post up and they have 500 friends, and another person gets post up and they have 500 friends, you're reaching 1,000 people that you never reached before. And fresh fish jump first. Fresh fish jump first. So if you're like me and your entire followers list is messaged like 563 times, which is fine, it's not as easy to get a response, especially since you've talked to most of them and you already you've discussed like products with most of them. Like you want new people, and all the people I've been signing up are people who I haven't talked to before. They're new people. So fresh fish jump first. Anyway, post a post in the morning, post in the morning, post at night. Get her done. Okay, so moving on. Following. Follow 50 people in the morning, follow 50 people at night. Or if you have too many followers, your followers to following ratio is not good. Unfollow some people. Tori, how do you unfollow people? Well, that's a great question, guys. So I have no organization method to this at all, but I unfollow people who I've least interacted with, because that means that I have not messaged them. And if I have not messaged them, it means that they do not follow me. Oh, yes, Jen.
I have another tip.
Yeah.
So I do what you do. Like if you go on Instagram, if you go to your followers, and then with or whatnot, that's also a good way to do host to post, because you can see whether or not you interacted with them. And then like if you haven't had really like a big interaction, you can ask them to host to post if they let's say didn't answer your cold message or something. So that's what I do, is I go through that list, and if I haven't asked them to host a post yet, I ask them to host a post, and then if they say no to host a posting, then I unfollow.
I love that. I love that.
So that's one thing I do for unfollowing. And the other thing I do is, if you again go to who you're following and then click on latest, if you let's say you follow 300-400 people and you only get 100 followers back, but your following has gone up a lot, then you go to that latest thing. If you click on a person and then click on who they follow,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say next.
Yeah, if they don't follow you, your name won't be at the top of their list, and then you just unfollow them.
Yeah, so if you go to their following list and your name is not the top, unfollow them, sis. They ain't following you. You don't need to be following them. Yes, literally, that's what I do. And I normally go to the least interacted. That's my first go to that list and then go through those people. And if I am following them, if I find that I am following them, I will go on their 3 most recent pictures, because that ups your interaction with them. Okay, that's following. Super easy. Following, everyone's like, I love following. I hate following. It's the worst thing to me. It's the one, if I could cut something out of the business, it would be following. And I just want to effortlessly get followers. So if I could wish for anything. But okay, moving on. Messaging is the backbone to your business. If you are not talking to people, you are not enrolling. Point blank. And I have said to a couple of you this week, it hit me the other day, that if your inbox is not blowing up, then you're doing it wrong. If your inbox is not blowing up, but people saying no to you, then you're also not doing it right. You need, hold on. Let's do this in real time. Okay, so I messaged 150 people before I got on the Zoom. I re-messaged them. I have 5 responses at the top of my messages right now. And I got 1 no, 2 no's. Got a liked message and no response. 3 no's, and then I got a how much is it? So I got 3 no's, 1 random liked response with nothing. They didn't say anything. And then 1 person asking how much it is. So most of my responses are going to be no's. And that is fine. You know why? Because they follow you. And if they follow you and they're responding to your messages, it just means they're going to see your post more. And they might see something that they like. They might, only see you posting about the coffee, but then tomorrow you post about the lash serum, and they're like, "Oh, I want the lash serum." Okay? So, yes. Good. Anyway, so if you're messaging, so what I do with messaging schedule wise is I follow up in the morning and I follow up at night. Are you guys sensing a pattern here? Morning, night. When I'm in bed, I am working. That's basically it. If I'm in bed, I am working. And if I am not in bed, I am having fun and doing other things. Not that work isn't fun, but you know what I mean? Like, if I am sitting, most of the time in Zoom, I'm in bed, and I'm not always in bed, I promise. But if I'm here, I'm working, and I'm getting stuff done. So when I'm messaging people from my followers list. I'm starting from the bottom of my followers list, and I am messaging up. And every day, I go back to where I started, where I ended, and I keep going up. And the people at the top of the list are the people that I have not messaged before. They are new messages. And you might ask, why don't you just go to those people? Like, yes, but I also want to give them some time to follow me and see what I'm about. But yes, so, and the people at the bottom list, again, have been messaged 563 freaking times. And I don't care, because I get responses. And, time passes, and every 3 months your situation changes. So you don't know where they're at. So I made it a non-negotiable to message 400 people a day. And again, it takes 10 minutes to message 50 people. So get her done, sis. Sit down, get it done. That's an hour and 20 minutes out of your day. Maybe an hour and 30 with a bathroom and snack break. And if you're going into work at a 9 to 5, but you can't spend an hour. If you're not showing up to message, you're not working. You're just not. You're expecting to make money from doing nothing. That's basically what it is. So set your damn alarm throughout the day. Set it. Set it in the morning, set it at night, set it randomly throughout the day, and just get it done. When I was in school, I would go to class. When I was in class, I'd take a 10-minute bathroom break. I'd run to the bathroom, I'd get my messages out. And then when I would eat, I would follow. And before I went to bed, I would post. And that's how I fit it in. And it just took no time at all. You just get it done. So you guys got this. Find what works for you. Repeat it. Figure it out. Write down what you want your day to look like for tomorrow, and then try to execute it, and write down what you actually did throughout the day. Between this hour and this hour, I did this. Between this hour and this hour, I did this. And to compare it and see where you're spending most of your time, and what where you need to fix, what you like, what you don't like, what you need to keep, what you don't need to keep. Figure it out for yourself. You guys can design your day, schedule it in, see where you can squeeze it in. If you don't like doing something, don't skip it. It's not okay to skip a task. You're not going to always like everything that you do. Again, I hate following. But what do I do every morning? I follow. And I find it to be the most tedious, annoying thing in the world, but I just do it and I get it done. And I show up. Again, if you're not showing up, you're not making money, point blank. Simple as that. So discipline yourself, get her done. And after a few weeks of being consistent, you're going to realize that it really wasn't that hard at all.